Welcome to Play, Eat for What? A space where we explore ideas and stories that keep us questioning and gently pull us toward the deeper meanings of life. What is it all for? Why are we here? And where might we be going? I'm Freddy, and this is my story.
Freddy had lived long enough to know that the stars never hurried. Every evening, he stepped out to his small garden with a warm mug of tea, the steam curling like slow thoughts, and he'd tilt his head back to watch the sky peel open. It didn't matter if the air was cool or the moon was hidden. He always watched. He wasn't searching for answers. He just liked to wonder. Why did Earth feel both crowded and lonely? Why did people chase so much yet sleep so little? And if the stars were seeds, who planted them? The grain beneath his bare feet always felt slightly damp by evening, carrying the smell of earth and crushed leaves. Sometimes, if the wind was right, he'd catch the scent of distant firewood or someone's cooking, and that would remind him of everything he loved. But tonight felt different. There was a deeper silence in the air, not empty, but full of something waiting. Freddy closed his eyes, and when he opened them, everything had shifted. He wasn't in his garden anymore. He was standing on a wide plain, covered in red dust. The ground was cracked and dry, like old pottery, and the sky was soft pink, fading to copper at the edges. It didn't look like Earth, not even a little. But he knew where he was. Mars. Not the Mars from books or missions or headlines. This Mars was alive in its own slow, thoughtful way. The wind here made no sound, but it brushed his skin like a breath, fine and dry, stirring the loose dust like sleep-soft whispers. Freddy began to walk. Each step left a print that lingered behind him like memory. He could feel the light gravity gently teasing his legs. Not enough to fly, just enough to remind him that things didn't have to weigh so much. His fingers brushed a nearby rock as he passed, and it was smooth, warm from ancient sunlight, as if it had been waiting to be touched. The air smelled faintly of rust, like a coin held too long in your hand. In the distance, a glimmer. A dome, low and silver, half buried in the red. He moved toward it, each step slower, more thoughtful. When he reached it, the door wasn't locked. It opened without a sound. Inside was nothing but a single tree, thin, tall, delicate. Its bark shimmered like bronze under soft light. Its leaves were a pale greenish blue, like mint left out in frost. It shouldn't have been growing there, but it was. Freddy sat down beside it, folding his legs slowly, feeling the cold floor beneath him. He reached out and placed his hand on the soil at the base of the tree. It was dry, but not dead. It was humming. Not with sound, but with a kind of memory. The tree seemed to breathe. And in that breath, Freddy saw something. Not visions, not hallucinations. Feelings. A colony being built. Slow, careful, human. Laughter trapped inside domes. Footsteps on Martian sand. Children drawing constellations on walls. Not of Earth's sky, but of this one. Machines humming gently as they stitched warmth into air and hope into silence. People weren't escaping Earth. They were growing beyond it, not to dominate, but to contribute. Mars was not an escape plan. It was an invitation, a quiet request to become something more, to stretch, to seed. And Freddy, sitting by that tree, understood. For all our wars and worries, humans still carried wonder. We still asked questions at night. We still planted things, even in places where nothing had ever grown. He felt a tightness in his chest loosen, not from fear, but from recognition. He whispered to the tree, "We don't want to conquer. We want to belong." The tree pulsed once, not with light, but with something quieter. A permission. Freddy closed his eyes again, and when he opened them, he was back in his garden. The tea beside him was lukewarm. The air smelled of soil and distant rain. The stars above still blinked patiently, and Mars, small, red, and quiet, lingered near the edge of the sky. But something had changed. In his palm, he held a small seed. He didn't know how it got there. Maybe it was always there. Maybe it followed him home. It was round, smooth, and warm like a sunbeam. He stood, walked to the edge of the garden, and knelt in the dirt. He pressed the seed into the soil, covered it gently, sat beside it. He didn't check his watch, didn't look for a sign. He just sat and waited. And in that waiting, something inside him grew, too. Not taller, not louder, just deeper. Because now he understood. The future doesn't come in rockets and fire. It starts with a seed, a question, a quiet step on unfamiliar ground. And maybe, just maybe, Mars had been waiting for us all along.